are definitely in for a great treat this afternoon. I am super excited to be your moderator for this next panel. My name is Karina Dominguez, and I am here representing the Office of Economic Development for the City of San Jose. And it is my extreme honor and pleasure to share the stage and lean into these amazing people and leaders in our community who are going to give us a little bit more, not only about their story, but definitely some nuggets and some wisdom on how entrepreneurship not only changes and influences our lives, but how we could be the change that we want to see in our community. Before moving forward, I do want to also honor my Deputy Director of OEDCA, Badillo Salowich, who's up in the front. So definitely would like to give her a hand of applause for allowing me to take some time out of my day to be here with you guys. So again, today I have the esteemed privilege to introduce to you this panel. We're going to go ahead and start with Jose Badillo. Jose Badillo serves as the CEO of Advanced Staffing, a multi-million-dollar company he has led after overcoming significant life challenges, including facing a life sentence in prison for over 9 years. With 18 years of experience in the service industry, Jose has fostered a company culture rooted in strong values and care for his clients and employees. Additionally, Jose also founded Second Chance to Life, focusing on mentorship and rehabilitation for individuals seeking a second chance. Our next, yes, absolutely, bien merecido. Our next panelist is Mauricio Mejia. Mauricio Mejia grew up in Los Angeles, involved in gangs. He was a latchkey kid who became a self-made millionaire at the age of 25 and lost it all when he was 32 years old. He turned in his life around digging deep to focus on his strengths that made him successful. When he moved to Silicon Valley, he became known as the godfather of San Jose nightlife. Very true. Mauricio works out in his gym at 4 a.m. He has compassion and empathy to do more for his community and his culture and to create an economic standard that propels leadership and success. He advises with kindness. With the discernment and creativity of a survivor, he thrives by sharing his wisdoms through his books and speaking engagements. Our next guest is Drew Starbird. Drew is the executive director of my own business institute at Santa Clara University and a professor of information systems and analytics. Since 1987, he has served the university in many roles, including as a director of Food and Stamp and Ag Business Institute and as the dean of the Leavey School of Business. In 2021, Dr. Starbird was appointed senior fellow in the Institute for Regional Studies at Joint Venture Silicon Valley. As executive director of MOBI, Dr. Starbird leads the university's most successful and far-reaching online education initiative. Every year, MOBI enrolls more than 14,000 students in over 200 different countries. Our next panelist is Jesus Flores. Jesus Flores is the founder and president and CEO of Latino Business Foundation of Silicon Valley, supporting over 2,700 small businesses and aspiring entrepreneurs in Santa Clara County. The foundation provides technical assistance, training, education, and advocacy to empower small and micro businesses. Additionally, Jesus serves on several influential councils, including the National Small Business Association's Leadership Council and San Jose's Small Business Advisory Committee. Recognized by the Silicon Valley Journal's Most Powerful 100 as one of the most influential leaders in this valley, he has also received awards from the state Senate, Assembly, and the City of San Jose. Welcome. Well, today we're going to go ahead and start with Jose. I understand you recently traveled internationally. Do you mind telling us when and why you decided to be a successful business person and how you help other entrepreneurs and other individuals now?
Wow, that's a big question. So I think what I've discovered over time is that the challenges that we go through in our life is what really makes us so strong and powerful and wise. And I think through some of the challenges I had through my life of incarceration, of drugs and gangs, and not having my parents at home, really created a lot of inspiration inside of me over time to want to discover more about myself. And then after I start to become more successful and to build out a career, I realized how beautiful it is to not just have a business, but to contribute back. Everything's in fluctuation. It's not about me, it's about we, right? Like, I can only be so powerful alone, but us coming together is the beauty. So I just got back from Abu Dhabi and Varanasi, India, where they're burning bodies constantly, and the myth is that as long as the fire keeps going, the earth will continue on, and the day the fire goes out, the earth will end. And you'll see people burning bodies and their family members along the river, and they're celebrating in joy of how beautiful it is to burn their family members. So everything's in perspective of how we see life and how we value it, but everything's a give and take. It's love and gratitude. And so over time, after overcoming a lot of my obstacles, I discovered how beautiful it is that my success is brought to me by the fact that I was always caring and giving, even when I had nothing. And now that I have more to give, it just becomes more powerful. And just like this community here, we're giving and contributing back all of our own insights and wisdom and love and support. And that's what I love doing.
Thank you so much for sharing that. We do have a video that I would like to go ahead and give some time for at this time.
In 1994, I was an 11-year-old kid from San Jose, California. Like most kids, I had big hopes and dreams, but my life took a turn for the worse, and I ended up in juvenile hall, group homes, jails, and even prison. Over the course of the next 10 years, I spent 9 years incarcerated. See, I was faced with some of the biggest challenges in life. I had no father. My mom was hooked on alcohol and drugs. I got involved in gangs and drugs myself. By the age of 12 and 13, I was already doing time in and out. At the age of 14, I was jumped in a gang fight and ran over like a speed bump by a car. And at the age of 15, I was facing 15 years to life in adult prison, while simultaneously discovering that I had a rare kidney disease and may not survive it. This, for me, was time to hit the reset button by focusing on becoming a better person and rising above my circumstances. So what I believe this means for you or anybody listening is that we all go through tough challenges, right? It's not what happens to us in the past that defines our future or who we become, but how we use life's challenges to help us find gratitude and an attitude for a better future, to create a better life for myself and later on for my family. It's up to us to step up and make a difference for our people, our family, and ourselves. If today we are alive and well, then I believe we have a second chance to life.
You're the right kid, you can get it done. You got a second chance. This is your second chance. Right? All right. Huh?
Thank you so much, and thank you for sharing your stories. We actually sit in a place that has so much history. I myself grew up on the east side of San Jose, and I can't tell you how much that video hits home of how one chance and how one perspective could literally change one person's pathway. And with that, I am very excited to learn more on our next guest, Mauricio. Mauricio and I have known each other for many years. In fact, era una chamaca when I first probably met him at one of the clubs he owns in San Jose. But, something that I've always admired about Mauricio is his perspective on being able to just change his mindset. And today he's going to share a little bit about, you've written 3 books already. I think I was on 2, and then now it's 3, Smoke and Mirrors, Accept, Address, and Move On. The architecture to high-rise thinking and decide, commit, and execute. Who are the people you are trying to reach with these narratives in this book? And what are your expectations for those that read your books?
Wow, well, that's pretty deep. And thank you, Karina. Yes, it's been an honor to actually we've known each other for many years. So thank you. Thank you for the work that you do, too, in the community. So, my first book, Smoke and Mirrors, which I brought, it's up there. Smoke and Mirrors talks about me in nightlife. I started in nightlife at the age of 15. I grew up with a single mom and a younger sister. And it was either going to be drugs, gangs, or music that was going to save my life. And I chose music. Music and nightlife. I got the opportunity at a very young age to be exposed to it. I'm 15 years old and I'm hanging out in clubs that I shouldn't even be in, but I got the opportunity, and why not? Smoke and Mirrors is about living in the nightlife, the sex, drugs, rock and roll, fast life, from Los Angeles, Hollywood to here in Silicon Valley, and seeing the impact that we made and the communities that we've affected by the nightlife and the entertainment, the social skills that have also been that were introduced back then versus what it is today with social media, right? You kind of look at everyone's living on their phones versus having interaction, so that didn't exist back then. But it also talks about my life. It talks about if a kid from East LA or the hood in LA can make it at 25, make his first $1 million deal. My first $1 million deal was here in Silicon Valley, and never wanted to go back home and just double down, 28, multimillionaire, bought my first Ferrari at a young age, and then to lose it all in 2008 when the economy went upside down and the real estate market and the nightlife market or the stock market went down. I mean, there was a big impact in the entire country. And so I always tell people I went from Ferrari to Ford Focus, and it's a horse, right? But it's just a different caliber of horse. But it was an inspiring experience to lose it all, right? To live, eating steak and lobster every day and indulgence and just life of excess, to the point where in my loft in Japantown I had a 350-gallon saltwater fish tank with a baby shark. It was just the mindset, right? But life changes when you lose everything, and you hit rock bottom. And I remember being I ended up moving back to LA privately, nobody knew. And I quarantined myself in a 10-by-10 room. And it was my version of jail. Like, I needed to really cleanse my soul and myself. And I'm a big person, I'm visual. I like to draw and write. So in my 10-by-10 room, I put a whiteboard. And I wrote my plan. I wrote a 5-year plan. And in my 5-year plan, it was $150,000, $250,000, $350,000, $500,000, and then $1 million. And I had to somehow regain my self-confidence. So 2013, I got a break. 2014, I got my real break. And from 2014 to 2019, in 2014, I launched 2 companies, one called Latin Life, another one called California Labor Force. And we're able to take in 2019 that company to $100 million, and that was my first $100 million company we built. Things changed during that time, and you get to learn partnerships and what money can do to people. Same time, I launched Latin Life, and Latin Life was to impact the Latino community, and that was the $1 billion unicorn that was going to come out of Silicon Valley. So my projection was the Billionaires Club, one of the first Latinos to be in the Billionaires Club here in Silicon Valley. And then there was that funny word buzzing, coronavirus. So coronavirus came and went, and during that time I got to meet a gentleman who actually prior to that became a very good friend of mine, Stedman Graham, who, if you don't know who Stedman is, and I didn't when I first heard his name, he's like, "Do you know Oprah?" And I said, "Oh yeah, that's her other half." So him and I became good friends and business partners, and along the way in my speaking engagements or introduction of him, I got the opportunity to write my second book, which was called Decide, Commit, Execute. And Decide, Commit, Execute is basically my 3 pillars. You have to make a decision in life, or a decision, and once you make that decision, you have to commit to that decision. And once you make that commitment, you have to execute on those first 2 in order to make things happen. Well, I didn't get to celebrate my 2 books because they launched in March of 2020 and didn't get to do that, but I've enjoyed it. Assess, Address, Move On is kind of a post-COVID book, and it talks about assess the situation, address it, and move on. So those are the audience. The audiences that I'm trying to target are the young, starting from smoke and mirrors. That a kid from LA can make it with all the adversities and all the challenges. You can as well. And then to put your thoughts into what are the strengths, what it's going to get you dug out, decide, commit, execute. And then when you get stuck, you have to assess the situation, address it, know that it's there, and you have to move on. So,
Lovely.
yes, thank you.
No, thank you very much. Thank you so much for sharing those nuggets of wisdom with us. It's definitely very important. I know that especially youth, right, that grow up and are among us. We've all grown up around each other for many years. We're familia and comunidad. We share spaces, and it's amazing to really be able to see each other lean in, especially because we come with our own perspectives, and our cultura sometimes doesn't really allow us to have that safe space to show up as ourselves. And so for me, in my role, I belong to a team that's the small business development team. And it is a really amazing team. We get to work with small businesses and entrepreneurs. And so if you have not picked up on the focus of this panel, it's entrepreneurship. And what we've come to realize is that we all could become entrepreneurs, and we all are here to support each other. And the city of San Jose is committed in ensuring that we provide the technical assistance. Now we have a free program, a free legal support. So for small businesses, if you need legal advice or access to an attorney, we have that program for free. And I'll talk a little bit more about our Shop Local campaign that we're doing to help support our small businesses here in San Jose, because as the mayor says, we know that the small businesses are the backbone of our city. And here in San Jose, 31% of our more than 60,000 businesses that are registered with us are what we consider micro businesses. That means that they have between 2 and 9 employees. So know that, I know I was speaking with some individuals earlier, entrepreneurship's it, right? The micro businesses, the home businesses, that is who we want to be here to support. And I'm so glad to have this panel who's doing that supporting for our small businesses and who are resilient in their own path. So thank you. Our next panelist is Dr. Starbird. Dr. Starbird, I have heard so much about you. We have never met, but you have done amazing work leading the MOBI. And I have encountered people from all over the world that have talked about this program, not just because of the amazing Jesus Flores, who is one, I know he's definitely involved, but from people who encouraged me to actually take the workshops. Oh. So I've done 2 workshops, and I love them. I think they're short, sweet, they get to the point. And so I am going to go ahead and invite you to talk a little bit more about the organization for those who don't know what MOBI is, and how does it help entrepreneurs all over the nation, including other countries other than our own, and what are the results of MOBI's collaboration with stakeholders and advocates like Jesus Flores and the Latino Business Foundation of Silicon Valley.
Sure. Thank you very much for inviting me. It's great to be here. It's great to meet you all. It's what fabulous stories we have from Jose and Mauricio. Very powerful, and I'm glad I was here to hear them. At the MOBI, the My Own Business Institute at Santa Clara University was originally founded by a fellow named Phil Holland and his wife Peggy. Phil was an entrepreneur. He started Yum Yum Donuts. So if you've ever been to a Yum Yum Donuts, you can thank Phil. And if you've ever learned anything, he's written a couple books called The Entrepreneur's Guide and things like that, and Peggy helped him with those to turn his knowledge into things that we could teach. He started the My Own Business Institute. At that time, it was My Own Business Incorporated, a not-for-profit, after the 1992 Los Angeles riots. He felt that he could help contribute to rebuilding the community in South Central LA by helping people start businesses, and that mission, that goal has been something that we continue on with MOBI at Santa Clara University. He started that in 1992. It came to Santa Clara 10 years ago. In my last year as dean, it was a very strange experience. I got an email from his CEO that said, "Would you like to take over this institute, and we'll give you $10 million to do it?" And I thought, I better check on that one. Where did that email come from? We checked on it, it turned out to be right, and it worked out well for us, and I've been running it ever since. It's been a great joy for me. We have 6 courses now. We just added 3 more: starting a business, managing a business, and growing a business. We offer certificates of completions and digital badges. We're completely available in English and entirely in Spanish as well. We have the only completely Spanish website at Santa Clara University. We focus historically on underserved communities in the spirit of the Hollands, and it's free forever for everyone, which a lot of people don't believe that's true. It is true. It's free forever. There's no catch. We're not going to try to sell you anything ever. One of the things that Phil told me when he left me the money was, I'm going to take the money back if you ever charge anybody for any of it. I said, okay, we're not doing that. And as I had the advisory board meeting this morning, his daughter was there, and she reminded me, I better not be charging anybody. So we're not doing that. I don't know if the slides are, oh yeah, they are. We have 350,000 website visitors every year, about 14,000 enrollments a year. We enroll about 40 a day, give out about 4,000 certificates. We have 110 partners around the world in 240 different countries. The biggest one, our biggest partner, is sitting right next to me, Jesus Flores and the Latino Business Foundation of Silicon Valley. A fabulous group, just amazing. We have other partners. Sunday Friends was at our meeting this morning. Clean Leap. Hoopy is a company in Portugal. CSOF Monterrey is a consortium in Monterrey, Mexico. We've won a couple of congressional recognitions this year because of our work with the Latino Business Foundation and this amazing man right here, Jesus Flores. And we have an outstanding team of students at the university that help us with translations and answering questions that are all native Spanish speakers. In the future, we're going to expand our catalog of courses. We'll probably work on some geographic specific courses, industry-specific courses, grow our network of partners. I told our folks I wanted to go from 110 to 500, and they gasped, but saying they were going to be working on it. We're going to increase our accessibility with a customized app and add several more languages. We're working on working Chinese, Japanese, and Vietnamese right now. So, and working with, we talked yesterday, we figure we've issued 2,000 certificates, 1,000 in Mexico, 1,000 in this area, and started 800 businesses. Is that about right?
800.
Amazing work.
Amazing work. Thank you so much for sharing that information. And please go and share this amazing program with anybody that you think is thinking about becoming an entrepreneur or is already an entrepreneur and just needs, their own time to get that skill set, that technical assistance support. Again, that's something that the city of San Jose is very proud. We have we have a network of technical assistant providers that we are very proud to collaborate with. And so if you ever need some assistance or you don't know where to start, please go ahead and let us know. And with that, take a moment right now to use the hashtag SJEconomy to all of your pictures, please. Help us with this algorithm. Make sure that we show the city of San Jose that we are present, we are here, and we're here to support our entrepreneurs and our small business community. I love what you said, Doctor, because in the city of San Jose, a lot of people don't recognize, but 60% of our small business owners are from ethnic and minority backgrounds, and over half are immigrants. So those numbers are, they're powerful. And so that is the community that we serve, especially with the red brick that we're hearing. We need to make sure that we are providing that space that's inclusive, that is safe, and that is accessible for all. So with that, my next panelist, Jesus Flores. Jesus Flores' organization has done amazing work in San Jose. I have seen the work firsthand, and again, some of the highlights of his work are not only the small business community, but how he interacts with women-owned businesses, particularly those who are survivors of domestic violence. And so I want to go ahead and welcome Jesus and ask him a couple of questions. Individuals, when they work with the Latino small businesses that you have, What do you focus on the business plan for them to grow? And how do you help small businesses with the MOBI training resources? And what have you seen of those results? What is telling of those results for the city in particular?
Well, gracias, Karina. Gracias. And thank you to all of the panelists. Thank you for inviting me to this panel. When I talk about the work that we're doing, I always go back to clarifying what a small business is. I've been in a small business since 1995 in downtown San Jose. And when you think about the support that small businesses received, first you need to think and realize that the federal definition for a small business is 500 employees or less. That's what the federal government calls a small business, 500 employees or less. And you just mentioned, here in San Jose, we have over 19,000 small businesses with 10 employees or less. Nationally, in the US, almost 80% of small businesses have 10 employees or less. That's over 26 million small businesses in the US, again, that have 10 employees or less. And those are the ones that we, Latino Business Foundations, focus in. Again, because we know that these small businesses have specific needs, and what we're trying to do is bring those specific needs, that specific support to them. Based on that, and based on the experience that we have, again, as small business owners, but also as a small business support organization, we noticed that, and this is not new again, is that almost 80% of small businesses, the ones that we support, the ones with 10 employees or less, never have any previous entrepreneurial or business education, which means is that they started a business more by need than by planning. And this happens because, for example, here in Silicon Valley, a lot of the small businesses, we started a business because we need extra income. We need extra income to pay for the rent or the mortgage or the college for our kids. So if we know how to do a service, we start selling that service. If we know how to do a product, we start selling that product. But again, most of us never had that education, that foundation that is needed to have successful businesses. Based on that, during 2020, at the end of 2020, we were inside of the COVID epidemic. And I have several meetings with different people. I used to be part of the recovery roundtable invited by Mayor Clara at that time. And I met amazing people there that I was explaining to them that situation, that we needed to bring that education to our small businesses. And one of my greatest friends, John Hogan from Exec Credit Union, when they said, I think I know someone who has that education that you need to provide to your small businesses. So he connected me with Drew. That was in November of 2020. And along with Big Farley from the Office of Economic Development, we got together and we said, okay, what can we do? How can we bring this? Because the MOBI program is just amazing. It's just the best thing that could ever happen to us. I'm saying to Latino Business Foundation and to our small businesses in the area. And so we formed this collaboration. I was also remembering that our first goal during 2020 was to bring 50 students per year and 15 graduates per year. That was our goal at that time. As Drew mentioned, we have, I believe, over 4,000 students already registered and over 2,000 graduates around the world. And I am so proud, and thank you for mentioning that, Drew. I am so proud that the Latino Business Foundation is the #1 provider of the MOBI course around the world. And again, because what we did is we kind of identified those specific needs. Most of our small businesses have never done a business plan, for example. The #1 module in our course is how to do a business plan. That's what we work with. Again, it's been an amazing journey. It's been a lot of great work that we have done, and I will always keep saying it. MOBI has been a blessing for us, Drew, and your support and the support of your team, Jill, Trish, Ana Sofia, is amazing. So we thank you for that. And we will just continue doing the work. We just, by the way, had a graduation on Friday. We just have a graduation. We graduated 21 entrepreneurs and business owners because I will say it's kind of like a 50-50. 50% of our students are already business owners, but the other 50, as you mentioned, are entrepreneurs who want to start a business. And we can proudly say that in the work that we have done together, we have probably created over 800 small businesses as well. So very proud, very thankful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, thank you so much, Jose Mauricio and Dr. Starbird and Jesus for your participation on this panel. It's definitely been inspiring. I'd like to thank the audience. Before I leave you, I would be remiss to not invite you to visit our www.sjeconomy.com webpage. Come and find out all about what Holiday San Jose is about. It's going to be an 8-week campaign that highlights more than 300 San Jose small businesses and cultural experiences in 11 of our shopping districts, where residents and visitors could shop, dine, and play, and celebrate with friends and family this holiday season. And so remember, use that hashtag. One round of applause for our panel, please. Thank you so much, and we're going to go ahead and transition into the next panel. I invite you to take a bio break and maybe grab some water or some refreshments. For the panel, we could get